Hello, church family. I'm going to do a series of devotionals, and overall, I'm calling it A Christian Response to Technology. This will be in several parts because everything about this topic is enormous. The implications of it are enormous. The effects of it are enormous. The material to be covered is enormous. So I'm going to do my best to make this as interesting as possible, but we need to talk about this. We really need to talk about this because there's so much going on involving technology today. It's actually going to even play a part in the book of Revelation. So people need to understand what's coming and how we should start dealing with it now. So to begin, there's a lot here. So I'm going to make this statement. This is not in the Bible, but I will say this. Nowhere in the Bible is a tool or a technology condemned for being evil. What is evil is how we choose to use that tool or that technology. It's very important that we all understand this. Let me get to Revelation here. So, not a day goes by that we don't use some form of technology. The influence of technology on our lives actually stretches back thousands of years to the use of shovels and spears, building cities, making a chair, or complex as computers, computer interfaces. In the last decade or two, we've seen exponential growth in technological innovation, which has led many to ask fundamental questions about how we should use it and what kind of influence it has on our lives. Does the Bible really address these questions? Well, you can't find technology in the Bible, just like you can't find pizza in the Bible or a pickup truck in the Bible. So we need to set our expectations to understand how technology is employed, discussed, and talked about in the Bible. Keeping in mind that anytime somebody's building something or weapons that are made, things of that nature, it's technology, and as the Bible very well illustrates, people have chosen to use technology for good and for evil. In the opening chapters of Genesis, we read about how God created the entire world and called it good. And on the sixth day, he made man and then pronounced creation very good. When God created humanity in his image, that work was good. And in Genesis 2:15, he placed Adam in the garden to work and to keep it. He gave Adam and Eve the ability to create and cultivate, differentiating them from the rest of creation. And then, of course, we had the fall, and the entire world and man's relationship with God went downhill, but it did not change the necessity for us in order to create, to fulfill our responsibilities. Early technology certainly was used, likely in the form of tools to cultivate the ground. Tools were used for the glory of God, our Creator. God created technology, and he allowed us to figure out how to use it with our minds and our imaginations. Now, however, we often use the skills God has given us to do things that he despises. Look what we do with phones. I'm going to ask you a question right now. How many of you are surfing your electronic device even as I'm doing this devotional and you're listening to it? You don't have to answer that. I'm guilty of it myself. I don't know anybody who's immune from this. Some people are definitely way better at it than others, but it's an issue. So, is technology morally neutral? Yeah, it has to be by our definition. Yet we can see the power and influence our smartphones have on our speech, how they've changed how we interact with each other. I can call you out and be rude to you on Facebook or any other social media forum, and I'm not going to get punched in the mouth. I can do that with total immunity and complete autonomy. So a lot of people have become what we call today keyboard warriors. And the consequence of that is our discourse, our ability to discuss and find common ground has deteriorated to the point where we're barely talking to each other sometimes, and it's very difficult, and it's carried over into every factor of our lives, including our politics. You and I cannot have a discussion on politics, a civil discussion on it, unless we completely agree with each other on what our moral choices are. Think about it. Look how the left goes after the right. Look how the right goes after the left. It's a nightmare. So please join me in this important devotional series as we go through this. I'm limited to a certain amount of time to do this, so this is going to take quite a few devotionals to do this. But this is really important, folks, and this is something we have to definitely get a handle on and understand how to come to terms with it for the glory of God. I love you, church. I'll see you next time. Bye.